because I'm just not sure how much signal we're getting here. Videos. Oh. Videos. No. Can't seem to get it up. Just bear with me, guys, while I check this. Manage. I don't think I'm streaming. Let me check. Because I think someone would have popped on by now. Oh, there we go. I think we are live. I'm trying to see, guys, I'm from Echuca. I'm actually, don't know how much bandwidth is on this, but I'm trying to see if I can get this up live to see if I can. Oh, hang on. There we go, I think. Let me check this. Oh, yeah, the picture quality doesn't look good from my end. I don't know whether you can see, but it's all these, the paddle boats down there. I can't zoom in, but there's a stack of them down there. Beautiful day here. I don't know whether you can hear the birds all singing. We've come away for the weekend. Just trying to see if you can hear any of those. The paddle steamer just went out and we had some beauty. Yeah, it's blurry as. I think it's the stream is really bad. It's there's so many people come down here for holidays that I think everything is all the bandwidth is being used up. I'm looking on my iPad as well, and it looks pretty bad. So I don't know if I'll bother talking much longer because of how it looks. Let me switch around, just see if it looks better from the other side. So here I am with my hat. Do you like my hat on? I've just ridden down 5 kilometres. Oh, that went clearer from that side. That's weird. Let me turn it around and just see if I can see it from this way. So this is up here. Is that the right side? Yeah. Over here is Echuca, just at up there. You can see all the old buildings and stuff that's all going through here. And then around the other side, just down here, is all the river. So this is the Murray River, and all the paddle steamers have been going down through the river through there. So it's been terrific just watching them all. It's beautiful here. Nice and hot today. I think it's around about, what, 34 degrees or something it's going to be today, so it's just nice. I did ride my bike up. It's 6 Ks that I've ridden, but I want to go and get a coffee or something in a minute. Raymond said nice to see you out and about. So let me just check the chat, because I'll put this here and see if I can get it up. Oh, hear that? That's the paddle boats. I don't know whether you heard that or not. It's probably going to come back in a minute. I might be able to show you. Let me put that down there. Let's see. So who have we got in here? Let me come down here and have a look. So we've got Eric's here. Barry's also here. Blurry, yeah. Eric's saying it's blurry. It seems to have improved a little bit. Or let me get my hand out of the way of the camera. What's these ants do? There's massive ants. I just got bitten a minute ago. Who else is here? We've got Michael Pierce is here, saying a nice day. Trees might be an issue. Could be, Michael, I'm not sure. Stuart says audio is good, but the video is blurry. Nice to see you out and about, Raymond said. Carol said, hello, David. Stuart said, it's clear not. I didn't expect it to be too clear. I'm only using my phone. So, yeah, that's all I'm using this time is my phone. But like I said, it's holidays here because of Easter. So everyone has popped down for the weekend. And there's only, like, we're inland, so we're actually in the outback. So it's, you know, I suppose they've only got so much bandwidth, and because there's so many people down here sharing the internet right now, it's all being used up. I'm hoping this boat comes past so I can show you all. It's probably going to come past. It's probably going to come past in a minute. So if it does, I'll actually give you a look. So it's clear in England. That's interesting. What else have we got? I'm in Echuca digital. I'm here. Take me with you, David. Looks beautiful. It is. It's stunning here. Let me just keep bringing this up a bit. Hey, David, good day. So I'm reading your questions from this, actually. Everything's fine. Start the show. Looking for the announcement of the A7 IV. I love it. On tripod looks fine. Handheld looks like the problem. Yeah, could be. Michael Pierce said it's clear now. So let me just switch around. So I'll just show you over here. See if it goes yucky again when I switch the camera around. So let me see. Oh, yeah, it's blurry as. Yeah, it's pretty blurry. I'll just take you over and show you down here. So this is the port of Echuca. If I move over here, even though it's going to be blurry, you might get an idea of where I am. So this is where I am at the moment. The Murray River actually is down quite low at the moment. It's because it's basically just finished summer here. The water level is very, very low. Like, we go skiing and everything in here, but we're not going out at the moment because it's a little bit too low. You can see these old houseboats or paddle steamers here. They're just beautiful. But just at that port over there, you can get tourists hop on all these boats and then you can travel down the Murray. The Murray is the longest river in Australia, so it's the biggest one we've got. But years and years ago, like the port of Echuca here used to supply all of the, take hay and things like that, all down 1,000 kilometres up to Mildura and everything else. Like, this river is very, very long. They used to take it all along the river on these paddle steamers. Now it's just done for tourism. So that's what that is. But you can see it's beautiful. I love coming here. I love doing weddings here. We actually do a lot of weddings over in these areas amongst the trees here. And there's a beautiful reception hall just sort of to the left of me. Up the hill up there, there's a beautiful reception hall up there that we use as well. But, you know, like I said, it's one of my favourite places to come. The weather is always gorgeous here, you know, and I just love it. But let me take you back over here. So I've been watching, I was going to talk to you about the Sony a7S III, but I'll only just sort of briefly discuss it. And then I might talk to you like the Mississippi River. Yeah, it'd be sort of a similar thing. I thought too, it was interesting because there was a video which has been shared for me. I've watched a couple of times now about talking about the a7S III and how good it is in stills. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. I think, I can't remember the name of the guy. I'll have to see if I can find it when I get home. But I wanted to have a big discussion with you about it because I actually haven't been able to put the a7S III down. And I was discussing it, and I've said to you previously that I think the files are just brilliant from that camera. But there was a video just put on YouTube, I think it was 2 days ago, or it might have even been yesterday, and talking about the file sizes or the print sizes and how they couldn't pick which was the medium format one and which was the Sony a7S III. And this is what I've been telling you guys all the time, that don't underestimate how good that the a7S III is, because it's unbelievable the quality of images that you're getting out of that camera, and I honestly cannot put it down. So I wanted to talk to you all about that, but I might have a real discussion with you when I get back, because obviously it's not the best place to do it from here. But let me just go down here and see what people are asking, if there's any questions. But I just cannot put it down. In fact, I've even brought it up here today, and the file sizes have not been an issue at all. Let me just see if I can see what people are asking. Yeah, it is beautiful here, Michael. It's stunning. It's just such a stunning place. The heart of Echuca is gorgeous, real Australian outback stuff. Have a good day, David. John said, Eric said it's better now. Yeah, people are saying it's better now. Yeah, just using my iPhone. But it's 5G, so it is a 5G signal. And then I'm using my iPad to read the questions. My first time in the chat, Digital Analog said, it's the iPhone 12 I'm using. So the iPhone 12's fine, but like I said, it's just probably the signal here is the issue, that too many people are online now. Loved your anniversary pictures. I must say, you've aged so young. Oh, thank you so much, Raymond. Yeah, we had our 40th wedding anniversary the other day. It was beautiful. We're going to Sydney. We're actually going to Sydney on the 24th. The time is 10:30 a.m. in the morning here, so it's already pretty warm. Yeah, we're going to Sydney on the 24th and 25th. So if anyone is watching this, and I will plug it when I get home, when we have more people in on a proper live show, but I would love to have a meet up there. We're doing it sort of as an anniversary thing, but we've booked we've actually got a lovely restaurant and stuff we're going to be doing on the Saturday night, so we might have a meet up on Sunday. But I'll keep you in touch and we'll see if we can organise a shoot or something. I would love to go overlanding in the outback. Yeah, I love Australia's outback. It's just amazing. It's so pretty. The sunsets are to die for. They really are. Everything fine now. Start looking for the announcement of the A7 IV. On tripod looks fine. Handheld looks like the problem. I read that before. William said, morning David, have a nice holiday. Johnny said, Agent D, light the black hat for disguise. Yeah, I know, I've got to keep it on because it's the sun's so strong that I get burnt. So I always wear the hat, particularly because I'm riding on the bike as well. I should be wearing a helmet, but I haven't got one that fits me. That's like the Mississippi River. Yeah, I read that before. Michael said, that place looks like where they made the movie Anaconda. Maybe, I don't know. Luckily, the thing is here, there's no crocodiles down this far, so that's one good thing. They're more up north. What's the time? It was 10:30. The video was from Chris Howe. That's right. Thanks, Johnny. Yeah, it was Chris Howe. If you haven't seen it, watch it because I want to talk about it. And they're saying exactly the thing that I was saying the whole time, that wedding prints are not going to be an issue if you're using the A7S III. Trust me. In fact, unless you're doing cropping, I think the A7S III is probably the best fusion camera available. Well, that and not the FX3, because the FX3 doesn't have the viewfinder. If you're doing stills, you need a viewfinder. So I still think the A7S III is the best hybrid camera that's available. So, and I think now, like I said, check out that Chris Howe or Hugh, or however you pronounce his name. Check that out if you don't believe me, because the print sizes they printed off were unbelievable. And him and his wife and another person very rarely got which one was right. So, g'day Aaron, how are you? Just doing a live from this lovely location at Echuca. What else is it saying? Carol said, how have you been for you with 0 cases? Yeah, we're fine now. We're totally out of lockdown now. We haven't got any cases of COVID here at all. So, yeah, we're basically clear. That's why we can now go around without masks and everything else. I don't think we've had a case for 30 odd days, I don't think. One case, so it's really good. Yeah, it's amazing, Aaron. The megapixels, like if you watch that video, it's incredible. I'm going to talk about it when we get back. We might even be able to talk it on our next live show. Hopefully we can go live again next week. Just seeing if anyone else is saying anything. I ordered the 50 GM. Have you shot with that yet? No, I haven't, Michael, but it looks like a beautiful lens. I'm happy with my 55 because I use it on gimbals and stuff, and I'm just happy with that. And to be honest, I'm shooting most weddings and things like that now around 5.6. So, yeah, I mean, one day I might get it. I did break my 55. It's in repairs. I'm meant to be getting it back this week, I believe. So hopefully if I get it back this week, I can start shooting it. And Sony Pro Support are unbelievable. They rang me 2 days ago and actually said that they were waiting on parts. And they said if you wanted, they would send me another one down for replacement until that got fixed. I mean, they're terrific. I just said, don't worry. I mean, I'm fine. I haven't got another wedding for a couple of weeks. So I said, no, it's fine. It'll be back probably sometime this week. But they're just wonderful. I got a $100 discount, I think, off fixing it. It was $400 to fix, $450 to fix, I think. But I have insurance, so, I don't have to pay much. I think I just had a $200 excess or something. So at least I get some money back. But I love that 55. If that broke and I had to probably get a new lens, I probably would have bought that 50 1.2. But you know what? I'm probably waiting for the 85 1.2, which I'm sure is going to come out soon. Your parts may be stuck in the canal. Well, there might be. Who knows? Well, Sony Pro Support did say to me that they were... the parts were paid for, like they must pay for them, and they said they're ordered, so they must be nearly there, because they said they usually don't get the charge for the parts until they show up, or just about to show up. So they were expecting them to come on Thursday, but now being Easter here over the next few days, we might have to wait a while to get it fixed. So hopefully sometime this week we'll get it back. I'm also meant to be getting another Moser, the new Moser Air. There's another Moser Air coming out. I think it's called the Moser Air 2S. I think that's what it's going to be called. So I'm meant to be getting that sent to me fairly soon. So I'm really looking forward to testing that out for you guys. I can't wait. And another little light that's a little bit different than other stuff that I've got out. So yeah, I'm going to have some interesting reviews up for you guys. I'm going to do an Easter shoot here today. I want to grab the grandkids. Kerry's brought all the gear up, so I'm going to be using my A7S III again. Like I said, I can't put that camera down. I really can't. Let me just have a look what people are saying. Aaron said, that looks like a nice place to walk. It's beautiful here, Aaron. It's stunning. It's such a lovely place. If you're quiet, the bird life here is unbelievable. I'm talking the feathered. The feathered type is unbelievable. I'm hoping the paddle steamer comes back. What else have we got? So yeah, Michael, that's a great lens. The 51.2 it looks beautiful. Aaron said he agrees about the megapixels. I'm reading the comments on the iPad. What else have we got here? Aaron, the mastermind. Aaron said he's ready to start the live shows again. Aaron said, I'm a 5.6 guy myself. Let's break the trend, David. Your parts may be stuck in the canal. I read that. The 55 is just great. Love that lens overall. The size, I know the size is great. Plus, I think it's stabilized. Is it stabilized? Yeah, I think it is. Someone in the chat may be able to let me know. I can't remember because I haven't got it on me. That's the thing I love about the Batis 85, because if you want a handhold, remember, I have got quite good now at handholding. And if you have a lens that's stabilized as well, you get some terrific results. Now the Batis, that's the difference between the Batis 85 1.8 and the Sony 85 1.8. The Batis has stabilization built in the lens, and that does make a big difference. If you want to handhold without sticking it on a gimbal or something like that, stabilized lens have a big advantage. So that's also a thing with the 16 to 35. That's why I don't want to get rid of the F4 model, because that has stabilization as well. So, you know, it's something that you can consider if you are going to handheld, and handheld now is quite feasible, particularly, you know, like with these later cameras, like the A7S III, etc. I can get really quite good results, particularly if you use it on a cage and it adds a bit more weight and you stick a handle on it. I can get really usable results. And if you have a stabilized lens as well, it does make a real big difference. Agree, I was amazed that the A7S III held up the big print sizes. And they were, guys, they were printing massive print sizes. Like I said, it was compared to, what was it, the 100 megapixel Fuji medium format. And they nearly, often, more than not, they picked the Sony A7S III as being the better print. And that just shows you, like, they basically said for Instagram and social networking, there was definitely no difference at all. But they said that for the prints, a lot of the time they picked the Sony A7S III as being sharper and also a better looking print. It really is enlightening. I should do some prints myself and show you guys. It's so underrated. Like, I really think we've become obsessed with megapixels. And I am wrapped, because I now say shoot a wedding, and I'm shooting most of the wedding now with my Sony A7S III. The file sizes are smaller. It's so much quicker to process everything, and the results from that camera are gorgeous. Like the color that you're getting out of that camera is just outstanding. So I seriously think now, if I was in the marketplace for another camera right now, I would buy another A7S III. I just love it that much that, look, if you want to crop in, yes, I fully understand it. If you're a wildlife shooter, you might need the pixels, but I don't shoot that sort of stuff. If you're an event shooter, or if you're just doing portraits and family portraits and things like that, the A7S III is incredible. Good to see the Godox. Yep, I've I was saying there, I've brought the Godox down here. I'm going to start doing the review down here. So I did bring it down to have a play around with it and stuff like that. Look, I don't think it's going to be enough to overpower the sun, but I think as a wedding flash, this is the Godox AD100 Pro. I think as a wedding flash, it would be amazing. And I do have a little tip that I'm going to try out to stick it on top of the camera, and I'm going to be able to bounce it off the roof and stuff, but I'll talk to you about that in an upcoming video. Even Peter McKinnon, even Peter McKinnon got that wrong with what photos they were. The A7S III versus Fuji. Yep, you should have a look at that video, Aaron. It's incredible. Good to see Godox release David on his own. Mark said, fat pixels, I've always said 12 megapixels is plenty in the park this time. Yep, I mean, it's like I said, I've got to stand up, my legs are going dead. It really is, I'll keep doing that, it really is amazing when you start to use it. Like I said, the colour out of that camera alone is just so good. Might come over here in the shade. Oh, I'm waiting for that boat to come back. Can you hear it? Yeah, it's coming back now. I might be able to get a picture of it for you. Yeah, now I was saying before too, we do a lot of weddings in this location. Over there, you can't really see it, but if I switch this camera around, it's full of really old buildings here. I'll walk up the top and just see if I can show you. So let's come up here. So the wedding reception place we have is called Ratcliffe's, and that is in just over here behind that green sign that's in there. It's beautiful because it has all vines on the inside of the building. It's got a glass ceiling and it has all vines that are there. There's a beautiful old bakery that's over there, and then down the main street down here is the main part of Echuca. But see, it's all has the really old buildings because they've kept it vintage, just like it was, 150 years ago. So it still looks really authentic to how it was then. But it's just beautiful. Very popular place to come here for summer, particularly for people that have boats and jet skis and things like that. I'm just seeing if the boat's coming in. No, not yet. A lot of people hire houseboats as well. We've hired houseboats from here and travelled down for 3 days. Coming through, you can see, I don't know whether you can see it, but there's a little paddle boat coming in now. It's just a small one that's in there, but they have some quite big ones. There's some quite famous ones here that are still working from 150 years ago, so they're just beautiful. I'll just come down and see if you can see that. That's probably a hired one that's coming in. You can see but that's the paddle boat as well. That's an old one. That may be just one that someone's hired for the weekend. So we're in New South Wales at the moment. So this is, we're in Victoria at the moment. This town is basically right between two states. It's Victoria, where I'm in now, and as soon as we cross the river bank actually is New South Wales. So that's where you change over to the next state. So I'll wait till this boat comes past. You'll see the paddles. Hopefully the quality is good enough for you to see. See, so that's pretty old as well. But people just do all these up, and like I said, I think that's a private hire one. I think there's barbecues and stuff on the back. But that's what we often do here. We love that lifestyle. Going out in the sun, having barbecues. Some even have spas and everything on there. But it's beautiful to swim in because the water's warm and everything else. There's nothing dangerous in there. But yeah, it's just great. Let me just come back over. There's some horses, I think. Oh yeah, let me show you that. Looks like a western. You see the horses up there? So they actually take those around. There's big cart horses or draft horses, and they keep bringing them around with tourists on them as well. The main street's beautiful. I shot Matisse in there a while ago when I was using the Sigma 105mm. I just love it. It's one of my favourite places on earth here. I just adore it. It's very laid back, typical Aussie spirit here. Everyone's chilled, relaxed, everyone's friendly, everyone says hello to each other, and always perfect weather. It's just, as long as you like the heat. Let me see what they're saying in the questions again. Raymond said, love the trees in the background, but wait, they aren't gimbal trees. No, they're not. Have you used a Sony 35? No, I haven't used a Sony 35 GM. It looks like it'd be a beautiful lens, though. Looks like a nice place, Aaron said. Michael said, looks like a great place to raise a family. It would be. It's just you'd have to like the outback, that sort of lifestyle. But there's all the shops here that you need and all that sort of stuff. It's just that it's, a couple of minutes outside of the town, then it just becomes the bush and the outback. It's beautiful. And the river is just stunning. I love the river, particularly in the morning. It's so gorgeous, and the sunsets, like I said, are to die for here. Did I just see Bigfoot? Do you photo shoot live? Do your photo shoot live. I want to. I can't because where we're doing it, my daughter owns a holiday home here, but where we're doing it at her, it's a massive caravan park with all units on it, which is where we stay. There's no reception. There is reception there, but because there's so many people come in during the holidays, the signal just drops out completely. They are going to buy satellite, so they're going to get a satellite system put in so we can get internet access. But as soon as I go out of the town, it's okay during non-peak times, but now it's terrible. It's called Echuca, John. So it's Echuca, Moama is the town. Juicy says, morning. Yes, I can't do the photo shoot live, that's for sure, Aaron. I'd have no signal at all. Yeah, it's just called Echuca. Now, these are big red river gum. I'll show you the size of these things. Let me switch around. These are river red gums, these gum trees. Let me get out of the sun. So these are huge, like really huge gums. They're evergreen, obviously. I mean, I know in California you have a lot of the trees, but probably not these big the river gums. They're a few hundred years old, a lot of these. So some much bigger ones as well. But the whole river, they go along the whole river right the way down. Like I said, I don't know what the length of the river is. It's probably, I don't know, it must be well over 1,000 kilometres, probably way over that. It's like I said, it's our biggest river that we have here. The border line, basically, if you go down the road here, there's a bridge there that goes across the river, and that's where we go into New South Wales. But the city itself, the town square or the main street up here is just stunning. It's all got massive, beautiful old buildings. It's very authentic. Looks like you've stepped back in time, so it's terrific how they've done it. It's a jet, I think. Yeah, I wonder where that was. It's a fighter jet coming over somewhere. Oh, there it is. Can you see it? I'm just going to see if I can see it. That's the geek in me. I love that sort of stuff. I think it's an old one. I think it's an F-111. Can we see it? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's I'm not sure. It is a fighter jet, though. Ooh, that made my day. So let's see if there's any other questions before I go. I'm going to go and have a coffee. I might even have beer o'clock, I think. What's the time now? It's 10:47, so it's almost time that I'll have a beer o'clock, I think. Let me switch this around. Oh, hang on. Where are we? There. Let me see what else is there. These ants, I tell you don't want to get bitten by them. Let's have a look. Aaron said he remembers the place. Yeah, I've shot Matisse here before. There's a video I've put online where I've shot Matisse with a 105. I'll have to see those amazing photos. And yeah, the grandkids, but the grandkids are gorgeous, so I can't wait to show them. Traveling is so cheap right now, I might have to come hang out with you. Yeah, I'd love to see you out here, Michael. Also trying to get Aaron out here. So you were just on holiday? No, just here on a holiday, just for the Easter weekend. So yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow. I think we're going home. We've been here for a couple of days now. Yeah, it might not have been an F-111. I'm not sure what it was, but it didn't look like one of the F-35s, Brett. So I'm not sure what it was. Mark said, love Echuca. It's an inland town tourist place these days. Normally tourists from overseas miss going there as they stay at the beaches. I know, and they don't realise what they're missing. That's the thing. It's the true Australia out here. I just love it. Kangaroos everywhere. You know, there's emus, there's everything. It's just beautiful. Laugh out loud. I love when fighters fly over. I know, I do too. I was wrapped when I saw that. Murray River is, oh, there you go. So it's 1,558 miles long. So that tells you how long. So it's pretty big. Probably, I mean, not big compared to world standards, I suppose, but it's big for us. I would love to get out in your country. Mississippi River is 2,000. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be as big as the Mississippi. Like I said, it's big for Australian standards, though. Remember, Australia is a very arid, dry country inland. But I love that beauty of it. There's something unique about the inland part of Australia. I love like I said, the weather is incredibly dry, like the sun. The heat is very, very dry, so it's not humid. So even though it can get very hot here, it's a beautiful heat because it's not humid at all. The mornings are gorgeous. The sunsets are just beautiful. The bird life, I don't know whether you can hear them, but you come down in the morning and they are everywhere. It's just, you know, it's just beautiful. They have all the parrots and everything here. It's gorgeous out here. There's some beautiful scenery, that's for sure. Pepe from OS would have to isolate 14 days in the hotel. Yeah, once that's gone, the isolation, then it'll happen. It's just a matter of us all waiting until everyone gets vaccinated and everything else. The travel will come back eventually. But yeah, I'd love to show some of you guys around. I'll take it, or wish I could visit someday. Yeah, I know we're very lucky, aren't we? All of us, really. But like I said, I'm still waiting on my vaccination, but there's no real hurry here in Australia at the moment because we don't have any active cases, really. So, you know, I mean, I'll get vaccinated eventually. I think they're just doing the elderly at this stage at the moment. I am to an A7S3 convert, but would still have the A7RV. Well, so would I. I mean, I'd still use it, but sparingly, because honestly, the 12 megapixels for me, I've talked to you guys a lot, and I said I thought 24 was the perfect amount. It depends how you shoot, guys. Like if you shoot and you don't crop, the A7S3 is unbelievable. If you crop, or if you say doing wildlife, stuff like that, you know, you're a bird photographer where you need the resolution to give you that ability to crop in, well, then the A7S3 is going to be no good for you. But if you're an event and portrait photographer, you know, like if you're doing, say, weddings, you're doing parties, you're doing just portraits, family portraits, stuff like that, the A7S3 is going to be more than enough. It's by far... well, like I said, check out that video. I'll post the links when I get time, but I'm going to have a talk about it on a proper video when I get home. But I've said to you all along that I think I could have gone easily to 16 by 20 without any problem at all. But looking at what they were showing the other day, you really can go massive. They were huge prints they were showing. And in fact, most of them were picking the A7S3 over the Fuji 100 megapixel camera. So it shows how good the file is out of those cameras. And I think, like I said, I can't put it down. I love the focus. The EVF is to die for. It really is to die for. I love the file size. Storage is minimal. When I put them onto my computer, I can just download them as quick as, and when I do weddings now, I use Photo Mechanic. I must talk about my whole process, but I use Photo Mechanic, and I'm just clicking through very, very fast, and it's instant. Like there's no waiting on the computer to sort of get through the previews or anything. It's just such a wonderful workflow, you know, like it's just brilliant. And it's changed me completely the way that I shoot again. I mean, I used to shoot with the D700. Shush, Siri. I used to shoot with the D700 and the D3Ss. They were all 12 megapixel cameras. And I really would like now to go back to that. Like I said, I think now if I was buying another camera tomorrow, I would get another A7S3. I just love it that much. And eventually I think that's the way I'm going to go. Particularly because, look, the A1 too has the advantage of brilliant video as well. And you've got the high megapixels if you want that size. So the A1 is unbelievable. It's outstanding. I just don't need those megapixels. I don't need that file size. But if you cropped, there would be nothing better. Or if you need 8K, there'd be nothing better. Ants, get away. But I think for me personally now, after what I've seen and what I've used in weddings and things like that, the low light ability of the camera, you know, shoot at night time. Like Kerry sometimes has gone, she's looked at what I'm shooting and she's gone sort of, oh my God, you know, I can't believe what you're doing at this nighttime and still showing images where before I would have had to light it up. Let me stand up again and just see what people are saying here. Oops. Let me just handhold that. They also do the Southern 100s there, Fast Geek Comp. Yes, we usually come up and look at that actually. Are you still loving your A9? Yeah, of course, John. I love the A9. Look, the A7S probably is my favourite camera now. It's mostly too because like the viewfinder is just so good in that camera. The focus, I would think the focus is pretty similar between the A7S3 and the A9. I don't think there's much in it, but I've still got the silent shutter that I can trust. I still use it more in weddings for like the wedding ceremony, things like that, where I don't want to be making, you know, drawing attention to myself. So that's where that's so good, because you know, it's perfectly silent, and you can't trust any other camera. The A1, or obviously you could, but you can't trust any. I wouldn't trust the A7S with rolling shutter for stills. I should test it to see, because it might be better than what I think. You know, I'd like to test it out, but the A9 still seems to be the readout. Is just the amazing thing about that camera. So yeah, I love it. I'll certainly, if that breaks or something happens to it, I would certainly get another camera, but I'm not sure it will be the A1. It might be the A9 too. I'm not sure. Particularly now that they may come down in price. You know, that's the thing I'd have to look at. Let's see what else people are saying. Michael said, I really don't crop much at all. Love shooting right in the camera. Yeah, I'm the same, Michael. But you've got it, and I mean, and you probably love the A1. And, you know, like I said, that I'd certainly, if I had it, trust me, I would probably love it too. I don't crop much. I read that one. I so agree with you, David, on the megapixel thing. I used 16 megapixels for many years, just 4 years ago, and those photos still look amazing. There's a link for the video you're talking about. Yeah, I know. It's I've got it down somewhere. It was sent to me yesterday. I looked at it before I left and came down here the other day. So what I'll do is when I get home, I'll have a discussion about it as well, and like I'll post it, so we might be able to have a discussion, and I'll show some of the images that I've been capturing. The A1 is killer in low light too. Yes, it certainly is, Brett. It's a great camera, that's for sure. Well, I mean, look, I probably would be happier like with the A1 if they gave a low raw version that I could shoot, you know, like say 20 megapixels or 30 megapixels or something. I just don't want to be shooting a wedding with 50 megapixels. It's just too much. When I had the A7R III, I never used it because of that. Like, I just grab it out occasionally and just use it. You know, and that's one of the things with it. I'm not saying, guys, don't ever think I'm saying it's a bad camera. It's not. It's brilliant. It's an amazing camera. It's just probably not for me. Sam's here as well. G'day, Sam. How are you? On location live. Love it. You're spoiling us with great production values. Thanks, George. Wait till the well, that could be the interesting thing. You know, the A7 IV, the A7 IV, maybe. I still think that is going to blow everything else out of the water. I really do believe the longer we have to wait for that camera, the more impressive I think it's going to be. And if it comes out sometime late this year, the A1 sales will have already been done. The A7S III, the FX3 sales will have already been done. So there's no reason why Sony will hold back. And I think I've got a feeling that that's going to be something really special, and I can't wait to see what it is. I just wish Sony would bring out a low-res version of their high-end cameras like the A7R IV and the A1. What I mean by that is a low resolution, or, you know, raw file that can give you half the file size or something like Canon does. I really do wish they'd do that. I know Canon the other day released a new firmware update that gave the ability to shoot, I think it was on the R5, in a lower resolution 8K version. So I think Sony should be starting to do things like that too. Sam said, still waiting on my A1 pre-order. Wow, still waiting, Sam. I'm sure you'll enjoy it though once you get it though. I mean, it's an amazing camera. Wonder if wedding shooters will move to HEI. Well, I probably will, Mark. Once the only reason why I haven't done it at this stage, I'll have to check and see. I think Capture One does it now. I just look, because I've only just been shooting recently with the A7S III at weddings. I haven't been game enough to try it with HEIF in case if something was wrong. Is that in focus? So I think I'll probably try it soon. I should do a test and just see how it is, because that format is a much better format. The HEIF is great. I mean, it has much more dynamic range, less banding and things like that, more ability to edit and things like that. So yeah, I think HEIF is the future for JPEG particularly. I should try it and see. I think Capture One may let you do that. What else have we got? I'm just looking down at the laptop if anyone's wondering what I'm doing. Hero said greetings, so he's in here too. Sam said the A1 is going to be so awesome, can't wait to see the pics. I bet you can't. Oh, he's talking to Sam. Just in time for the opening. Osprey's coming up there. Capture One version 21 does now support HEIF. Yeah, well, there you go. So I should test it and see how it looks. I was tempted the other day when I did it, because I always capture RAW and JPEG. that's the way I always work. If the JPEGs are good enough, I'll just use the JPEGs. And I always can tell this because I do I should talk about my workflow, but I do a sort of sample in Photo Mechanic to see what's good and what's not. If the JPEGs are fine, and boy, the JPEGs from the A7S III are just stunning, I will use the JPEG straight away. If anything needs editing, like if I've underexposed or something like that, I'll use the RAW file. So I always want the backup of having RAW plus JPEG just in case. If the JPEGs are no good, I'll immediately go back to the RAWs. So if HEIF works, obviously I'll just convert from shooting JPEG to that. The only thing is the other cameras don't do it. So, you know, that's an issue, and that's one thing that I have to think about. Sam said, yeah, hoping any day now. Talk to Pro Support. They are not saying much, though. Perhaps it is stuck on that boat that was out there. Everything might be a little bit behind. Is Capture 21 better than Photoshop and Lightroom? I must do a video talking about it because I have switched now completely. I haven't used Lightroom now in probably 3 months. I'm using Capture One solely, and I'll do a video about it for you guys, but I think Capture One kills Lightroom. It doesn't kill Photoshop because you still need Photoshop for certain things, but I tend to need Photoshop far less now than what I did. So the way that I'm working is I use Photo Mechanic. I'll then take it in, I do my culling there, and then I'll take it into Capture One from that. So, for instance, when I did the wedding the other day, I had, what was it? I had, I think, about 1,000 images that I'd taken on the A7S III. By the time that I'd cull them down, that had gone down to 600. So instead of taking in 1,000 into Lightroom and then have to worry about it later or Capture One, I can just do the culling at the beginning, and that's saving me so much room. I'm so happy I've moved that way. I did buy the Pro version of Photo Mechanic because it gives you some other features for searching for files and you know, doing all of your keywording and things like that. But it's a great system, and I'm really happy I've gone that way. Capture One I love. I really do love. I'm just hoping that they bring out a native support, you know, the Mac M1 native support fairly soon. Photomiac said Capture One for life. G'day, Ike. Most of my work is done in Capture One Pro 12 now. Only keep Lightroom for workshops and education. Yeah, I suppose that's a point. I've still got it. I mean, I've got Photoshop, so I've got the photography plan anyway. I'm old school. I still love Lightroom on my iPad. Nothing wrong with that, Aaron. Dislike, I'm sure what they're saying there. I've been using Luminar and keeping Lightroom as online storage. Luminar is great. I use Luminar for certain things. Like, the funny thing was, when I was changing over to Capture One, I looked at a few different things. Like, I actually looked at, say, having, what was it? I looked at DxO as well, like photo, what's it called? I've gone blank. Anyway, it's the DxO software, so I looked at that. Then I bought Luminar as well, and then I got Capture One after that. But I've found that they all do different things well. Like, Luminar is particularly good if you want to do funky things. Oh, thank you so much, Sam. Gave me a donation. Sunscreen. I've got sunscreen on. The DxO software has the best lens corrections I've seen of any lens. So I do go in there if I have things like, you know, where basically you have things that are not straight and stuff like that, where if you're using a wide angle lens. Well, DxO is brilliant for things like that thing, or chromatic aberrations and all these other things. It's the best I've seen for their lens support. Then I'll go into Luminar sometimes if I want to do things like a quick sky replacement or something. If I wanted to make a real impact image for a bride and it's just a plain blue sky, I might want to do something to make it have a little bit more impact. I've found Luminar is great in that regard. And then I tend to use Capture One as my main workflow, and obviously still Photoshop, which I probably never will get rid of because I love it so much. But, you know, I found Capture One. I was worried about the cataloguing, but it's really good. Really good, in fact, so I haven't been worried about that anymore. It works great with Photo Mechanic. So I'm finding that works really good. I'll do a video for you guys and just discuss how my whole workflow is, just so that you can sort of see, you know, how it's all going. But Yeah, so let me just come back here. I'll just check a couple of questions before I go. Let me have a look. Bit curious about getting the Tamron 70 to 180. I'm seriously thinking about getting that lens myself, Johnny. Maybe the 70, the 100 to 400. Do you use that kind of focal length? And would you say I can handhold it? Got the A7S III with active IBIS, but shaky. I wouldn't be hand holding a 100 to 400, no. I mean, you could do it for stills, but certainly wouldn't be doing it for video. You just have to up your shutter speed. You know, that's really all just relating to shutter speed. So I'm seriously thinking about getting rid of my Sony 70-200 f4 because it doesn't work with the A7S III. It blacks out the screen for some reason. It does some funky things. I think it needs a firmware update, but being an older lens, I'm not sure they will do it. So I'm seriously thinking about getting rid of my Sony one and then buying the Tamron, because that's what Kerry uses to sort of snipe. I always call it sniping. She uses it to snipe her around in weddings. So she'll stand right back and use, you know, the 200mm. Well, 180 is close enough for what we want to do, but she uses it for that. So you've got that 70mm you can shoot, and you can go up to 180, and you're still shooting at 2.8. So I think I'm probably going to sell it and then use the lens you know, for that. Plus, it's a much more modern lens, you know, to focus better. Look, I still love my 70-200 f4, but it is an older lens now, you know, and I think when I used the 70 to 180 Tamron lens, I was really impressed with how that lens worked. I mean, it really did work very, very well. So that's probably what I'd say. If you need more reach, though, go for the, you know, the 100 to 400. That would be a lovely lens if you were, say, shooting wildlife and stuff like that. You know, I mean, it'd be much better for that sort of stuff. The 70 to 180 is just not long enough, but it's a great sort of, well, nearly everyone always has the 24-70 and the 70 to 200. Well, I've got the 28 to 75. Tamron, I love that lens. I keep that on a camera for the whole wedding. So I love that. And to have the 70 to 180 would sort of finish that off for me for Kerry using cameras. So I probably will do that, I think. I think that's the way I'm going to go. Carol said she loves, I know, and Carol, check out, you've got to see Carol's moonshots. She does some unbelievable moonshots with that 100 to 400. In fact, you sold your 70 to 180, didn't you, Carol? What else? Do you think it's worth to get an ND filter for a 105 f1.4? Yes. Well, I've started to use NDs more and more and more. The reason why I've started to use them now, because, look, I used to try it early on, but a few years ago, the lenses always had a cast that I wasn't happy with. But I've found the latest lenses, like I use the Freewell ones, and I've also got a set of Peter McKinnon ones as well, but I found they're both as good as one another. But they add such a little bit of cast now that it doesn't make any difference. But what it does do, it gives you the ability to give your flashes more power. And, you know, the thing here is that if you're trying to overpower the sun, to have the ability to use less flash power is a big difference. So I'm tending to use more and more NDs now when I'm using flash. There's the cockatoos up there. So that's what I'm tending to do now a lot, is I'm just using NDs. I use the variable, the 2 to 5 and the 6 to 9. So that's what I'm using now. All the time, and I tend to love that now, and I suppose particularly with something like the Godox, that AD100 Pro, you would have to use an ND because there just wouldn't be enough power to do anything in sunlight. There probably isn't anyway, but it might give you the ability to do it, you know, that way. So I tend to keep my shutter speed under the, you know, around 1/200th on the Sonys. You can do one to 250th, but sometimes you can get banding, so I tend to keep it around 1/200th, then you never have any issues. And I'll just use the ND then to dial the exposure back. Then your flash needs less power, and it gives you that ability to really overpower the sun. And I'm doing that with my Pro Photo now all the time without going to HSS. It'll do HSS perfectly, but I get a much better result when I'm doing it that way. So, you know, I think it's certainly something that you can do, but I've definitely changed to using NDs now all the time with my flash photography work. What's she saying? I'm thinking about selling my Tamron. Okay, yeah, she still hasn't. Carol's amazing. Yeah, her moonshots particularly are unbelievable. Well, guys, I'm going to head off because I'm going to go and get a coffee and then I'm going to have a beer o'clock. I just wanted to check in because I didn't do a live today. I will be back. Next week. I'll just come down here and turn around that way. I will be back next week with the usual live show because obviously it's not a holiday anymore. And I might pop in live or something Monday or Tuesday and have a talk about the A7S III, that video that's out there, because it's a really interesting thing. So I'd love to have a chat with you guys. But I better get back because Kerry's going to be wondering where I am. And by the time I have a beer o'clock, I'll be sitting out here myself. Kerry's gone for a walk with my daughter. I said, no, I'm going for a ride because I'm going to have a coffee and a beer o'clock. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks, everyone, so much for the chat today. But just thought I'd check in and say Happy Easter, everyone. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.